Alright gang, Glenn Demonemy here, back with another podcast. This is a follow-up to my last video regarding Destiny 2. I managed to play the beta over the weekend, and although they haven't opened up the farm social space, I figured it wasn't really enough to keep this video off for very longer. I'm here to just give some personal opinions and some impressions about the beta itself. Now, I actually thought the beta went okay. I did some tweets on my Twitter feed talking a little bit about it, but I want to make a video to go into detail what I thought about playing that beta. Let's start off with the campaign mission. You pick as one of the three guardians. It's preset. There's no character creation. This is the beta. I mean, there will be character creation in the final game, but in this one, they've basically made three pre-made characters: a pre-made Titan, pre-made Warlock, pre-made Hunter. I went as a Warlock because PlayStation, I played as mostly a Titan and a Hunter. I started leveling a Warlock, but, you know, being an adult and being a gamer doesn't mix, so I just chose 2 out of 3. I didn't really like the Warlock in Destiny 1. I didn't like the way the boost felt. Because like with Hunter, you just do jumps, and the Titan, your boost is more consistent. Whereas Warlock, like if you don't double tap that initial burst, you don't actually get higher. You just have more of a it's more of a dying jetpack. That's what the Warlock boost felt to me. Anyway, in going into detail, the opening campaign is you get an opening cutscene with all the 3 major Vanguard players. Talking about satellites being down and whatnot. And this, oh, by the way, this is going to probably have some spoilers. So if you don't like spoilers, I would turn back now. Anyway, you've been warned. All right. So you get opening cinematic. You have Kate 6 walking into the briefing room, and they're talking about, you know, their equipment not working very well. There's a thunderstorm outside. Zavala turns around, and there are Cabal ships heading towards the tower. And during this whole cinematic, you basically see them coming in and start shooting at the tower. They start attacking the Traveler, and then after that, there's another cutscene where it shows your character and your ghost flying in on a random ship that he chose for you. I think the ships are different depending on what character you pick for this beta, by the way. You go in the ship, and you start out in the area of the tower that's now completely destroyed. I mean, everything's on fire. Like this is the social space that we all came to know and love back in Destiny 1. Now the place is in ruin, it's on fire, and you have to find, you have to find survivors. So you're trying to make your way to the main entry social space where your vaults are at, where Eververse is at. Oh yeah, I don't care if this is a spoiler, but of course Eververse survives because, you know, cash shop, right? Oh, sorry. So yeah, anyway, you make your way to the main area, and that's where the meat of the game starts. You're attacking the Cabal invasion, and there's actually some new tricks with the Cabal. Like now they land in on these giant pods that dismantle, and there's usually like 2 or 3 of these dudes just starting to shoot at you. I thought it was kind of cool because in the first game, you know, there wasn't really a whole lot special to the Cabal. They just jump out of a ship, and then they're just like, you know, Mexican jumping beans. You just jump from one place to another, shoot at you, jump from one place to another, shoot at you. I like the interest that these guys do. And one thing that you're probably going to notice from Destiny 1 players is the graphics, the animation. Everything looks smoother. There's a lot more going on. I mean, yeah, they're basically using the same layout of the tower, but it does take. I've done game development, so I can say that it does take some work to actually take something and then make it look like it's completely being destroyed. I mean, there's a lot of particle effects going on, and as you look at the background, you can see all the Cabal ships fighting other Guardian-looking ships, and it's like, so like while you're on the ground shooting at the Cabal, there are people out in space in the background shooting each other like Star Wars. And you actually notice this huge construction going on with the Traveler. There's like this giant object like latching itself onto the Traveler. And this story mission is no joke too, because when Zavala says, "Get behind my shield, get behind a shield," you will die. There are people who actually died to this mission. So this is not your simple, basic training wheel mission. This is basically a mission that treats you like you're really in a war. I mean, and of course, I mean it's good for newbies. It's good for newbies who are new to Destiny, but it is a little challenging at first. And then after a while, you're told to help look for the speaker. So you go to the area where the speaker's normally at, and that place is raised. That big chunk area that you normally find a speaker at, that's gone. That is completely gone. It's destroyed, and the speaker's nowhere to be found. You see the Warlock Vanguard jump onto a ship, and then you don't see her again for a while. And then you're told to wait for Amanda Holiday. Now, here's the part that I thought was kind of cool. So, this whole time in the tower, there was an area where Zuri normally stays at. There's that big round gate. No one's ever been past that big round gate. I don't think there's ever been a glitch where you can get behind that wall. Um, but anyway, you actually get to go behind that wall, and there's actually like a little marketplace there. And what's really cool with the opening mission is that there's that you actually get to see a lot more of the NPCs, and then you see Lord Shaxx. I think this is before. I think this was it before. No, there was a scene where you actually get to see Lord Shaxx protecting civilians. He opens a door, and you get to take a weapon, which is kind of cool. I think that was before this last part here. But anyway, you go through this area, and then you're heading towards the back, and you're waiting for Amanda Holiday to come out and rescue you. She rescues you and takes you all the way to, I think, what was the Cabal ship. Yeah, it was a Cabal ship, and you actually get to see the pods being launched out. And I spent some time just kind of looking at the atmosphere. Like, you can look down at the tower and the last city, and you could see the place just being completely decimated. You like the attention to detail for this game right now is a lot better than the first game. There's a lot going on. It's crazy. I wouldn't mind replaying that mission over and over just to see what else I missed. There might be some Easter eggs. Um, as you get to the boss of this mission, it's basically a giant version of what's that guy's name of that strike? Vols to Arc is like a big version of that. Um, and you have to fight him. That fight was actually kind of fun. This one it inquires or not inquires requires a lot of cover. If you're this is not a game where you can just shoot blindly. Like this one, you actually got to find cover. Be very strategic on where you put yourself. Like this opening mission is not something that holds your hand. It actually you are being challenged in this opening mission. Like a lot of people who are used to just running and gunning blindly through the first mission in the first game, this is nothing like that. This has actually got some challenge to it. So once you beat that mission, you are free to do PvP. You are free to do strikes. Well, it's actually just one strike. There's just one strike and two PvP missions, so you're free to do that. Um, Me and two friends went. We did the strike. The inverted is it inverted spire? Strike was a lot of fun. I will say this that this first strike I've played, I don't know how the other strikes are going to go, but this strike was a lot of fun. You can actually, if you want, you can actually explore some of this area. It's a brand new area. It kind of looks like the Black Garden in a way, because I can see reused assets here, but it's taken over by the Vex, so you're going to see a lot of Vex constructs, and there's some new constructs there, but I think this kind of gives you an idea of what the patrol area is going to look like. If you wait a little bit, you're going to see warring, I keep forgetting her names, Fallen, warring Cabal, and warring Vex, and eventually you're going to see some pikes come out. Take this to your advantage because once you get those pikes, you can start shooting stuff down a lot quicker. One thing I will say is I've noticed that the enemies take a lot more bullets to take down. They're definitely a lot more spongy than the first game, and these are red health bar dudes. And they have the same weak points, but the yellow health bar dudes and the orange health bar dudes, I think the orange are just are weaker. It's because it's funny. Like in the first game, you get yellow health bar dudes, which are usually like stronger versions of the normal enemies. But then you get the orange health bar dudes, are basically middle of the road. But the yellow ones take a lot of bullets to take down. I mean, I can see people running out of ammo really easy in this game. I hope they tweak that. They probably aren't because I think this beta is just one big stress test before they launch the game. I really hope they don't make them as bullet soaky. I can see a lot of people are already complaining that these dudes are just glorified bullet sponges at this point. But anyway, the strike is kind of I don't know. I wouldn't say long, but you will die a lot. There is one section where you're in a quarry and there are these like spinning turbines that go around and they will basically one shot you if they even graze you. Um, you want to be very careful of that. But eventually, you make your way down to a platform, and then you start fighting the mega boss, which I thought the boss was fun. What it does is it disintegrates the ground, and I think it does it like two or three more times before you get to the bottom layer, and then it depends on how far health you get it down to, and then you just got to finish it off. And it summons waves of X that comes out of this pool of the milky substance. I thought it was cool. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Terminator, but that's just me. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the strike. We got some loot out of it. Now there are people who actually found loot that actually had more light level because and it's a bug apparently. Although you can get higher light level, it's rare. So I'd imagine you'd have to play the strikes repeatedly just to have a chance of getting loot. I didn't see. I got something out of it. It's just a body piece with a lot more recovery because my piece that I start out with had no recovery on it. That's why my health regenerated really slow because I think uh, there's recovery, mobility, and I forgot the last one. And I think if it sort of acts like the Destiny 1 skill tree where you have to choose, do you want more recovery? Do you want more armor? Do you want more agility? And then sometimes for raids, I like more recovery because sometimes you want quicker recovery, and it really helps. Um, so Strike was a lot of fun. Now for the stuff that I'm a little annoyed with, and that's PvP. Okay, I like PvP in Destiny 1. I'm not a pro at it, but I'm not that bad at it unless I'm playing against really good players. But one thing I've noticed with PvP is it does feel like it's a lot more hectic. And what I mean by hectic is there's a lot more going on. It's 4v4. Control plays the same. Although most people didn't care about the objectives, they cared about killing other people. The other one, which is the bomb detonation, that one's a tough one. That because you have two spots and you have four people. So ideally, you're supposed to have two cover one and two cover another. But what I've seen in this game mode is everybody goes to one spot, and or three to four people go to one spot, and then usually the other team either gangs up on you or they actually split. And God help you if you go up against a pre-made party, you're gonna get slaughtered. Well, pre-mades of players that know each other, like, and that's the thing. That's the difference between playing with randoms and playing with people that you can synergize with. Like when you have any team-based game, if you're good with playing with those people, you know their ins and outs, you know their weaknesses, you know their strengths, so you're going to play better as a team. Whereas a group of randoms, you're clutching it. You are definitely clutching it. Um, I don't know what to. I mean, it's fun. I'm sure it'll be fun, but it feels a little bit more stressful. Some people play video games to unwind. That's not unwinding. That's actually making people aggravated. Now, later today, I think they're going to open up that farm social space. So I'm going to check it out. But from what I saw, it's a social space. That's all it is to it. I'm sure there's going to be more. But other than that, my final verdict on this, just for playing the beta, and I know it's not fair, but I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to play a wait and see approach with this game. I'm not going to just rush out and pre-order it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to wait till the reviews come out because I'm more worried that this might be like Destiny 1 where the main campaign is crazy short. There's not a whole lot with the game because it's Activision. Because if anything I've learned about shooter games that you can play online is a lot of times you don't get bang for your buck, and they're probably going to focus more on the stupid cash shop. But that's neither here nor there. All right, this one's going to be kind of a short video, but that's my impressions on Destiny 2 beta. If you've enjoyed it, that's great. As for me, I'm just going to wait. So anyway, this is Glendemonium. I'm going to end it here, and I will see you next time.